of, or like not being taken seriously, I suppose. Me, myself, and I isn't enough, like I'm not enough for either my friends or for boys or like just like society. And just comparing myself to others, that's something I know that I do. Like whenever I'm like in ballet class, I always look at the other girls and compare myself. I'm like, oh, I'm one of the bigger girls here. And I know that's something that I'll take in, and I'll tell myself like, it's fine, it's okay.
Growing up black and like a female on top of that, it's rough because it's like, people call me an Oreo because they say I'm like white on the inside because I guess I talk properly sometimes, and then like the music I listen to is more pop than it is like rap or R&B, and so they would say I was an Oreo, but I wasn't like white enough to hang out with the white kids, and then I was like too white for the black kids, so it was just growing up I never knew where I was in the world.
The workplace things that I've had happen to me, because like I don't want to be hit on at work, you know? No one wants to be hit on at work. The one specific one that came up into mind was when I had just graduated high school. I started working just like a summer recreation job, and I was working at the town pool, and one of the patrons got real creepy. He was like lingering far too long at my booth repeatedly day after day after day and saying things like, oh, you look so pretty today, like blah, 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 blah. And there was one day when he just said like, you should take off your glasses so I can see your pretty eyes. And I was like, I'm not doing that. Like that was kind of like my like aha moment, like, no, we're not doing this. And you know, I told my boss, and he's like, well, you know, there's nothing I'm gonna do about it. And I don't know, at work a couple other times, like people have just been like, you should smile more, or like, your blouse is very outre. That was one of my favorites. And just that sort of stuff is like, ugh,
Yeah.
I don't want that.
When I was in high school, I dated a boy, and he was nice at first, but then he got really abusive, physically, emotionally, and he wouldn't let me have guy friends. He would make fun of me for having guy friends, having actual friends, spending time with my family, and I wasn't allowed to have sex with anybody after we broke up because that was his. That was really difficult, for sure, because I felt powerless because everybody took his side. I was the bad guy just because I had guy friends and he didn't like that. And
between being a tall woman and a queer woman, for sure, those two, that's about it. No one told me that my thighs would get bigger, my stomach would get bigger, so I struggled with that a lot, and especially because I'm taller, so proportionally my thighs are bigger than a girl who's 5'2". That's just how it is. And no one warned me, so I had a lot of struggles with that. Being an actress, my height it depends on the director, but often I haven't gotten roles because I'm taller than a lot of the guys.
Like I can't imagine like not being who I am, just because it comes so naturally, and like I've certainly have like felt judged based on who I am and how I present myself, just in the sense of like, you know, other girls.
What does being a woman mean to me? Because there's like, if you would have asked me with like 10 years ago, I would have been like, oh, being strong, resilient. But I feel like there's different types of like strengths and resilience that everybody goes through. And being a woman now versus like 5 years ago, it means an entirely different thing.
Finding confidence in yourself, I think that's a very big thing, and confidence can get you anywhere. And if you have the confidence to say, no, that's not okay, then you're gonna get yourself to a place of comfort. Like, you're gonna be able to shoot down all the haters. And being a woman is also like, it's fun, it's sexy. Like, we have this beautiful kinship with each other.
someone who faces all these adversities, has all these setbacks, drawbacks, but someone who can still come back from it and grow physically and emotionally.
Above anything else, I just want to make myself happy. And I think a lot of women always want to please everyone else. They want to please society. They want to please their partners. every confident and strong woman that I've met lives for herself and, does her career for herself, dresses how she wants, does anything with her body, free choice,
Sometimes, but definitely just focusing on myself, because I've had a lot of like emotional damage that has happened to me. Like last spring, I went through like a really bad breakup, and it was really, really hard. And so, yeah, I think through that, I have gained more acceptance of myself, and to not always worry about it, because there's just some things you can control and some you can't. So I'm gonna control how I think about myself.
I definitely just, at first when people would say stuff to me, it would hurt. But now I'm like, you know what? Maybe I am an Oreo. I like my pop music, I like my punk music, I like what I like. And if that means that I am too whatever for you, then you don't need to be in my life. Because at the end of the day, we're all going to die. And I'd rather die being like truthful to myself and who I am as a person than trying to conform to one type, because there's not one type of black. There's so many different shades, and like they're all beautiful. So why do I have to be like, I guess, more urban or whatever? And I'm just gonna be true to myself.
Just the first time that I said like, no, that's not okay, and acknowledging that like I'm uncomfortable was a big step for me. And it might not be like the big thing that changes the legal system, but it is like the thing that changes my, perception of myself. And I have no problem being like, you're being creepy, like please go away. And I'm really happy that I learned that, even though the way I learned it was by making me uncomfortable for months.
But it taught me my worth, my self-worth. It helped me keep all of my future plans in mind and realize that I really didn't need this person. He just made me think that I needed him. I definitely learned warning signs, what to look for before getting in a relationship with somebody. It definitely taught me to keep my future in mind, because I saw that I was losing sight of everything that I thought was important for this boy. Coming to college, that was a big thing at the time, because I was a junior going on to my senior year. And to remember my self-worth, that was a really big thing, because he would just make me feel so worthless, and it sucked. And I'm happy that I know my self-worth now, and I know that I don't need to be treated like that.
I'm still learning to love and accept my body.
Just being true to myself. Like, I'm a Pisces, and like I can't like. I know some people like might have like different like facades for like when they're at work or like when they're at school, but like I'm me like 100% of the time.
To be boss like Beyonce and unique like Gaga. I love Lady Gaga, and it's like when she was wearing that meat dress, I kind of like side-eyed her. I was like, that's a little much for me. But at the end of the day, she's who she is, and she expresses herself so well.
Don't let anyone make you small. And you're enough. You are enough.
I live by this quote from Johnny Depp, and it's called, "People cry not because they're weak, but because they've been strong for too long."
Sierra Boggess, one of my favorite actresses, says, "You are enough. You are so enough. It is unbelievable how enough you are."